Beep beep! Welcome to the Court of the Edijester. How are we, everybody? Just when you think you've heard it all, I'm back with more news. This time about a bloke who wants people to operate on him, leave his, his meat and two veg alone, but stick a hole in as well, just between that and his other hole. Yeah, I know you're shocked. Let me say it again. Right? Leave the penis, put another hole, so 3 holes. No, 2 holes in a dick with a couple of balls. What happens if you sit down and think, let's not go there. This is what's happening. Become a warrior teacher. Buy me a few coffee. That's the most important thing, is become a warrior teacher, right? Need the numbers for May. Need the numbers for May. Not doing well at the moment. So we do need people to come on board. If you're thinking about doing it, now's the time. Come and join us. Great team. So we've got here an article from the Torygraph, which was written for the 12th of April by Gabrielle Swirling and Daniel Martin, and was released at 8:48 p.m. So the link is in the doobers to the article as per usual. And what we have is NHS trans clinic doctor backs non-standard procedures like having both male and female genitalia. Let's get this absolutely straight, because I'm sick of saying it. Right? What they do has got nothing to do with genitalia. What they produce is a 100% failure rate Frankenstein operation. That's it. You cannot remake a vagina and you cannot remake a penis. We simply don't have what it needs to do it. What we have is a fake, a fake. It's nothing to do with being a vagina. It's not a vagina at all. So stop calling it genital. So they should say, NHS trans clinic doctors backs non-standard procedures like having both male genitalia and a hole, or female genitalia and a pork roll, essentially a roll of fat and meat. That's the truth. There's a 100% failure rate on these operations. Don't think there's anything other than that. It is. Or top surgery without nipples, nullification and phallus preserving vaginoplasty, discussed in message board on care for non-binary patients. This is why I've always said it. Non-binary is the most dangerous. It all has to go. It all has to go. Trans, non-binary, get in the bin. Call yourself what you like, I don't care. We'll just look at you like, years ago we used to have eccentric people. Just be eccentric. What's wrong with you? Been eccentric all my life. Last month, messages were leaked from a cache of files. Oh, here we go. Guess where they came from? Ladies and gentlemen, repeat after me. WPATH. That's where they came from. WPATH, right? Which sets guidelines that have influenced NHS treatment by investigative journalist Michael Schellenberg and his think tank Environmental Progress. They uncovered this. They showed that doctors are carrying out life-changing surgery and prescribing puberty blockers, even though they are aware the adults and children may not fully understand the long-term ramifications. One doctor talked about a transgender person who died of cancer as a result of the hormone treatment. Current NHS guidelines facilitate some patients who experience gender dysphoria to transition to a different gender with treatment through hormones and surgery. Yeah, we're going to stop that too. John Hopkins knew. I keep saying this. 1970s. However, the Telegraph has been sent unredacted screenshots of the leaked messages, which identify a leading NHS doctor, Jonathan Arkellis, a professor in mental health and transgender health at the University of Nottingham, as among those discussing and endorsing controversial procedures which are currently not allowed on the NHS. Get these cultists out. Don't care. I don't care if they're the Professor Emeritus of pubic hairdressing. I honestly don't care. Get them out. Professor Arkellis is a member of WPATH and works as a medical doctor at the NHS's Nottingham National Centre for Transgender Health, where he provides psychological support to patients as well as hormone treatment and referrals for gender-related surgery. Fire him! Sack him instantly! Don't ask about NHS and tell the union to go screw itself. The unions are part of the problem. Earlier this week, the landmark cash review was published. The report was commissioned by the NHS. We know this. In a report, Dr. Cass was highly critical of WPATH, and we also found out that Dr. Derek Giddon, who, like Professor Arkellis, who works at the Nottingham National Centre for Transgender Health and its clinical director, and is in NHS England's Gender Dysphoria National Speciality Advisor, was also criticised after they refused to share data with the Cass Review. What they hiding? They've given us a number of 9,000. I'm not sure what the exact number is. I'm sure nobody really is. But where the hell are these people? What was the follow-up and what happened? Because you know, and I know, that between 8 and 13 years after they start this goddamn boondoggle and have the first operation, that's when the regret kicks in. And we end up with them hurting themselves thereafter. It stops entirely. There is no way that the NHS should be paying for any of this. For anyone. We don't need experimentation on children to tell us that you cannot be something you are not. And never will be. It doesn't matter how psychologically we deal with the psychological disturbance, because if the psychological disturbance is so bad that they have to pretend that they're going to have to remove their arms, their legs, their fannies, or their titties, or whatever it may be, when they lop off the knob and the balls, if it's so bad, the psychological pain that causes them to do that, I can tell you unequivocally, and I'm no psychologist, that it will still be there after. You do not treat a mental illness by screwing around with the body. End of story. This is what you get. You've got these activists at every level of our society, and they need to be removed. And they need to be removed, as I've said previously, with extreme prejudice. Good morning, Dr. Archelaus. Don't sit down. That's what we need to do. Now, Unison and the other nits that support this, right, are going to say, oh, well, these people... Don't let them take you to court. Sodom. Let's get them in the light, and let's reveal exactly what Unison is up to. In fact, is there anybody out there who'd like to look and see what Unison's up to? Produce some kind of blog, and I'll read it out, and we can take these bloody union nut jobs to task. How about that? Should we do that? Do you think I should do that? I think I should do that. While we're on the subject, I'll show you my new app. And that's all you're getting. Go away! See you later, good peeps.